Hello everyone and welcome back to another Make a Server review. Today we're going to be looking into a server that actually isn't really that bad. It's pretty different from most servers, and I honestly kind of liked it. It was very nice concept and very well executed, in my personal opinion. However, this server did something that no other server has ever done, in my knowledge of playing Make a Server. And I don't even know, but this could actually be the most amount of players in a single server at one time. But that's only coming from me. I don't exactly know if this is true, but I'm going to talk about the server that hit 40 players in 3 hours. 40 players in a single server at the same time, all collectively together, after 3 hours of this server being up. Let's dive in. Be sure to subscribe if you want more content like this. And let's get into the video. The game starts with presenting you to a main menu screen. There are 3 buttons: the play button, the game plot button, and the credits. The game plot button is currently broken, so you don't really have to worry about what is going on right here. The credits button presents you with the creator of the game, I Don't Love Furry. What a fun name to have for a game like this. However, I'm not the one to judge. Among pressing the play button, you are greeted with a house, or at least you being inside of one. Since there was a lot of players in the game, it was quite hard to process what was going on, so some lag is evident to happen. Throughout the game, there are certain things that you can do, and there are secrets that you can even find to wear in your character. Everyone in the game is dressed up as a noob, and specifically at a certain height. That way, everyone is supposedly to look the same. There are even water cans that you can use to water bushes and the garden out in the back. There are also some areas where you might find some animal PNGs, like this cat here. Sometimes there's a weather announcement, and other times there isn't. It depends on what weather it is going to be for that day in this game. The game lasts for until the game shuts down, or until the game gets broken. The game is not automatic. The game is basically as basic as it can get. It's just your normal ARG horror game put into Make a Server. However, it does have its good aspects. It actually has different models for the different NPCs or different horror characters, known as monsters, in most cases. Supposedly, as an analog horror, it's not the worst. It does a really good job portraying different ways of making people scared, and it even tells you what to do before the next event begins, so you don't die as easily. There's even a shop where you can steal food for a 50-50% chance. The first 50 is you actually getting the food, and the other 50 is you being trapped inside of a prison until death. You can reset your character to escape the prison if you want to. There's also some other stuff on the side, but that's not really important. What's important is what you see on the screen here. Let's talk more about it. What you're looking at here is where the real fun begins. The game starts telling you information about this entity. like how big it is, what it likes and dislikes, and what it can actually do. It also tells us that it's located in several spots in the United States, or at least it's getting around really fast, since it's been spotted in 3 places of the United States. Aside from that, there's also information about it being at a certain place, but nobody knows where it is. The features of this figure is that it's fast, quiet, can speak human language, and goes to bright light. So basically a moth, if anything. And then it will tell you what you should do if you ever encounter this entity. The first thing is that you will hear a siren. That is supposedly going to alarm if the entity is in your current location. It'll tell you then to cover the windows with something. Mainly a board or something strong. You should also turn off all the lights in the house so that way you can avoid suspicion of being caught and seen. Then, this plays. Now, despite it cutting off very short notice, more than likely something bad happens when you're caught by this entity. Something very bad. After that message plays, shortly after, prompts will be given. The prompts will ask of you to do certain things, like if you should turn off the lights, board up the windows, and many other things that affect the way how the game goes. Make sure to not choose the wrong option, by the way, because if you do, it might end up affecting the entire way the rest of the game goes. For everyone. And worst of all, it might end up getting you killed. In the back corner of the house, this is where you can find the first secret hat. It's a book hat. That's pretty much all to it. The colors are in order of green, blue, and red. Top to bottom, that is. When you walk into the shop, the 50-50 thing I was talking about, you have a chance to go to the prison. This is what it looks like if you actually get the prison. along with this game comes some other aspects that don't really matter, but I guess I can still talk about them anyway. So, the game, it seems to go by some kind of story, but it doesn't really make that much sense, and it kind of just puts things in front of your face whenever they can. Though, I'm not saying that it's a bad thing, I just feel like that it could probably be a bit better with the execution of that, because most of the time it would just be like, random this, random that. Though, I'm not saying it's bad. I just thought maybe a little bit more thought could have been put into this, since it's a horror game and most horror games have like lore or something. There's also a building. Well, it's more of a structure. It seems to be a tombstone or a statue of someone. It's in the back, it's next to a house, and it's pretty much just there. It doesn't really serve any real purpose other than it just being some kind of memorial for someone. Maybe they're very important to the story, or maybe not. I don't know. Because again, it doesn't really explain much of anything. Though, despite that small little hiccup, it still does a pretty good job with the builds. I actually like the attention to detail with most of the things going on in the game. And there are going to be other models in this game too. I might show it to you a lot earlier, but I think I might save it for the next chapter. You're not ready for that. Though, I will say this. The models look nice, the builds look nice, the houses look nice. I think they did a pretty good job with making this game overall, with visuals, and it looks just looks amazing, in my opinion. The flowers, the shop. They even added attention to detail with the things inside of the house, which is a huge plus from me. And I think that's pretty much it for this little bit, so yeah. Let's go to the next chapter, shall we? This chapter is going to start off with a video recording. It's going to be a message. I'll let you watch it. Now, as unsettling as that was, that's probably not the worst part of this entire thing. This sequence is going to end up summoning what we call a pet, or dare I say, a Skinwalker. When you walk back here from the entrance of the house, you will see a small door. This is the door to take you out to the garden. I don't really know if it's a garden since there's like no flowers or plants being grown there. It kind of just looks like everything died. So maybe next time the server comes, we could see some progress with the plants? Maybe? I don't know. There's also this small little mini bathroom, which for some reason has a plunger. Or at least I think it's a plunger. I don't really know what that is. I'm gonna assume it's a plunger, because that's pretty much what it looks like. Ever since we heard about the Skinwalker incident, we all decided that we would go up on the roof and see if anything is strange. We did hear an alarm, and it was kind of weird because for a while we didn't see anything going on. But then we looked at the chat, and you can probably see what happens next. Wait, hold on. Turn off the music for a second. Did you not just see that? What you just saw was the Skinwalker, and it is currently running around the house. We're not gonna talk about that. The Skinwalker, yeah, right now it's stuck in the ground, but once it springs back into action, it'll end up on top of the roof, which somehow, to my surprise... Okay, oh, there we go. So now that he's free, he's gonna end up jumping on trees and climbing to the roof, which is going to end up getting us killed. After teasing the Skinwalker and absolutely getting slagged, I ran away to the other roof, or at least the other part of the house with the same roof. I don't know if the house is going through the giant grass thingy that separates the garden and the front door, but I'm just gonna say that this house is more than likely just more of a cave, and the wall is just there just to be as a decoration. But I don't really know since it just goes through the house. Or I think the wall is, honestly, I don't even know. I can't even make up my... After the night ends, the Skinwalker disappears and it's morning. Now, everyone is just happy to be alive and running around and going outside, just reminiscing in the beautiful daylight, to which there is no sun. Hey everybody, I wanted to take this short little break to make sure that you guys know about me and boosting your servers. If you want to help support me whenever I make another video like this, so I can support the person making the server, you can always come to make a server and send boosts. Every 25 boosts is 1 credit that I could use, so that way I can give it back to you guys. However, if you don't want to do that, it's okay. I can pay with Roblox instead. Now, let's get back to the video. Well, there you guys have it. The 40-player mark. As much as I would like to say that this short little video was probably too little for me to explain everything that happened, I have to say, I'm quite impressed. This server wasn't really that big, but it actually was able to do some things that most featured servers couldn't, like get 40 players at once. I find it quite amazing how so many people decided that they should spend their time playing a game like this. And I honestly think it's beautiful, you know? To see so many people care about something so little, yet so big at the same time. Really makes you wonder how big the mass community really is, huh? I think so. I think so too.